You don't seem to understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer.
Omni-Man and Sentry are some of the strongest in their universes, but how strong are they compared to each other? Let's find out. So, let's start with Nolan Grayson, aka Omni-Man. So Omni-Man was an alien Viltrumite born on their planet Viltrum. And he is not just any Viltrumite, he is the son of the Emperor of Viltrum, which means he is from a rare ruling bloodline. Being a Viltrumite, Omni-Man was born with all his race's superhuman capacities, which puts him well beyond the physical parameters of most races. While physically appearing middle-aged, Omni-Man might rank among the greatest Viltrumites and is easily recognized as the single most powerful being on Earth, able to single-handedly defeat the entire Guardians of the globe. He is blessed with immense raw physical strength, able to easily lift thousands of tons of weight with a single hand and plow through virtually any solid matter with little to no resistance. Offensively, his sheer might can easily crush and tear through most targets with little trouble, even foes with his own level of super strength or heightened durability. He is also incredibly fast, capable of moving at superluminal levels and able to traverse entire planets in minutes. His speed was also shown able to cause devastating explosions, with the implication that his speed was splitting atoms and causing fission reactions. Also, as a Viltrumite, Omni-Man's genetics are so potently dominating that they almost completely overshadow any genetics his offspring will inherit from the other parent, making said offspring almost purely Viltrumite themselves. Omni-Man's entire physical being is nigh indestructible. Extreme temperatures, explosions, severe physical trauma, piercing weapons, and energy assaults have little to no effect on harming him. Only the most powerful of foes are able to cause any actual harm to him. He can even survive direct exposure to outer space, enabling him to perform interstellar travel without aid. For most injuries that he does sustain, he is able to endure and ignore the pain for the most part with no major impact on his physical performance. His sheer resilience allows him to survive injuries that would kill most beings, such as being disemboweled. While still needing air to breathe, he can go for weeks without air unfazed. If he ever gets injured, he is able to recover from any damage in very short periods of time, all with no lingering signs of the damage ever transpiring. He is also virtually immune to all forms of illness and contaminants. This healing factor also makes his body generate very little fatigue toxins, granting him immense stamina that lets him continue to exert himself for extended periods of time without collapsing or suffering from exhaustion. This also grants him an uncanny capacity to live entirely self-sufficiently, not needing nutrients or sleep, at least not nearly as much as humans would, and remain unhindered. When it comes to Sentry, he is not an alien and was born as a normal human being. His name was Robert Reynolds, and he was a meth addict. Later in his life, he broke into a scientist's laboratory who was working on recreating the super soldier serum from decades. So, Robert became the Sentry after being mutated by the Golden Sentry serum, which he consumed thinking it was some sort of drug, and this transformation made him one of the most powerful heroes in his world. The Sentry possesses remarkable levels of superhuman strength, speed, and intelligence, as well as invulnerability, enhanced senses, energy projection abilities, and the power of flight, all fueled via the absorption of solar radiation and dependent upon his mental state. When stable, he has the potential for virtually limitless power, described as equal to 1,000,000 exploding suns. However, if his mental state wavers, he becomes weaker and easier to defeat. His physical strength is the last among his recognizable or relatable powers. Beyond this point, his writers went crazy with him and made him even more omnipotent. Sentry can go toe-to-toe with a Worldbreaker Hulk, arguably the strongest Hulk version, and he can also fight Thor, She-Hulk, and Captain Marvel all at the same time with ease, even knocking them aside embarrassingly in the process. At times, even Sentry was able to beat the Void, his dark split persona, through sheer strength alone. If that's not enough, Sentry can just sunbathe and absorb more of the sun's radiation to increase his strength, which is awfully similar to Superman. However, his superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, and even energy projection are just the tip of the iceberg. Sentry is far more tremendous than that. During one of his skirmishes with Molecule Man, he got turned into a liquid, making him functionally indisposed in the fight. But, to Molecule Man's surprise, Sentry was able to recover from this. Hence, it has been surmised that Sentry has molecular manipulation abilities similar to Molecule Man. Due to this, he was able to defeat the said supervillain, who ranks as one of the most powerful beings in the multiverse. It should be noted, however, that he's not as proficient as Molecule Man when it comes to the said ability. In fact, Sentry doesn't even know how he did it or how to control it. Sentry is also immortal as a result of the experimental super soldier serum, which turned him into a superhero. That means he doesn't age and likely won't die. On top of that, he's also invulnerable, meaning he is pretty much impervious to any physical pain or conventional weaponry. In fact, both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Tony Stark have yet to find or point out any physiological vulnerability in Sentry. His only weakness seems to be his fragile mind, which can be assaulted with psychic attacks. Even so, superheroes like Doctor Strange find that act difficult. Even Strange himself said that Sentry was way too powerful for magic and can resist psychic attacks, especially when stable. Regardless, no one on Earth knows how to kill or stop Sentry. No one but Sentry himself. So by now, we know the things that we need to know in order to decide which one of these two superhumans will be victorious. So, Omni-Man is known as the Great Nolan by his people, so it's implied that he's more powerful than a great deal of them. Omni-Man is like a wrecking ball with a conscience, a walking apocalypse with a bad temper. He's got the power to burn, but let's not get carried away. Yes, he's obliterated entire civilizations without breaking a sweat, and in his world, he's near unstoppable. But against a heavy hitter like Sentry, it will be a different story. Sentry in the terms of physical strength and speed is ahead of everyone, and his other abilities just make him more and more overpowered. While Omni-Man destroyed an alien civilization, Sentry brought down Asgard. He fought Tarax the Temer, one who could shatter planets with a strike of his axe, and easily overpowered him. In World War Hulk series, he was the one who put end to Hulk's rampage. This version of Hulk nearly killed Black Bolt and defeated everybody in Illuminati and Fantastic Four. Omni-Man is portrayed as extremely strong, but that's only compared to other characters from Invincible, and it's exaggerated by the fact that he's extremely brutal and kills people in a gory fashion. But he's actually on the middle end of Superman analogues in terms of power, with only statements and very few showings. His statements are not that impressive when compared to the likes of Sentry, since the most powerful thing he was compared to was another Viltrumite, and the only planet-level feat we saw was him destroying his own planet with his son and fetus, so it was not something he did alone. So, how does that compare to a being who is stated to have the power of 1 million exploding suns and who can destroy planets as a side effect of him fighting? Omni-Man only stands a chance because of his Viltrumite powers and his battle experience of thousands of years, which makes him much more experienced and organized than Sentry. However, he doesn't have any exploitable weakness, so Omni-Man can't work over that. He has only two weaknesses, first his wife and second Void. Only the latter one is applicable in this scenario. Void can't even be classified as a proper weakness because it just makes him unstable. On various occasions, it is shown that Sentry gets vulnerable to attacks as he becomes immobile due to his mental instability, though these instabilities can even make him lose control of his powers and destroy everything. Basically, Sentry is a psycho who can destroy the planet as he punches someone. Even against the weakest, most disturbed version of him, the best the Omni-Man could hope for would be to escape from him or to die quickly. So yeah, Sentry wins easily. And to be honest, I love Omni-Man. That's why I didn't include many major feats of Sentry like killing Ares and Carnage, or easily overpowering Avengers. So yeah, that's all, and thanks for watching.